Today I'm going to be talking about an issue that I guess a lot of young women, or that I know for a fact a lot of young women deal with, and that is the issue of self-love. Hello beautiful ladies, welcome to the cleanup. I am LaTrenda and my aim is to inspire young women to live a clean life mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, so you can start building today so tomorrow you can become the woman that you want to be. I dealt with low self-esteem for such a long time. I didn't like myself, I didn't love myself, and it's really difficult to build self-love because we live in a society where it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you're supposed to love yourself, have confidence. But in the same token, you see commercials, you see videos, you hear people speak about changing themselves, or, you know, not really showing the importance of accepting who you are. And so hopefully the 5 tips that I give you today will be super helpful. I'm not a guru and I'm not here to tell you what to do, but hopefully through my personal testimony, you will be able to see the importance of applying these tips in your life. So number 1 is I began to see my imperfections as the identification marks that were unique to me. I don't care who it is. No one person is alike. Even identical twins who share the same DNA have traits, personalities, demeanors, likes and dislikes that are completely different from each other. And so once I began to see that, like, this is what makes me me. I don't care if it's my little rabbit teeth that I got. You know I got one eyebrow that be on fleek and the other one is struggling a little bit. You know, I walk with knock knees. You know, I'm not a big booty Judy. I know all these things about myself, but those are what make me who I am, and I'm okay with that. And once I begin to accept that, then I begin to see myself in a different light. So number 2 was I began to see, or I tried to see, that the woman that I was obsessed with looking like, they had their own imperfections. So if I could look at them and even in their imperfections, all I could see was beauty, why couldn't I look in the mirror and see sheer beauty? And so, you know, I wasted my time just trying to look like these women and doing all this crazy stuff, just researching their lifestyle, how they live, what they ate, how they worked out. But they had their own imperfections. And so once I began to see, like, okay, this is who I am, I need to be happy with that. These women have their imperfections and they're beautiful. I need to make sure that when I look in the mirror, I see how beautiful I am regardless of my imperfections. Number 3 is I began to see that life was bigger than my imperfections. So at 27, I had my first child, and at 29, I had my second. And that was a complete miracle because I was told that I couldn't have kids at all. So to be able to carry children, well, to be able to conceive was a miracle. To be able to carry my babies for 9 months and they were healthy, and I was able to sustain their life in the womb, and then I breastfed, so I was able to sustain their life outside the womb. That was a blessing. So honestly, you know, my imperfections or the things I didn't like about my body, it wasn't on the list of my priorities anymore. I had bigger things to be grateful for. So the things that I didn't like about, say, okay, I wanted a flat stomach. Well, now I have stretch marks and I have a saggy belly, but guess what? I gave birth. I carried 2 babies for 9 months. So I have something to be proud about. Another thing I had an issue with was my breasts. But guess what? They're milk filled and they sag, but it don't matter because I'm able to sustain life for my babies now. And that's all that matters. So the little things that I used to look at my body was so insecure about, I'm so grateful for it now because I have my beautiful babies. Number 4 was that I had to be honest and address my self-hatred head on. So the reality was I didn't like myself for reasons outside of my looks. Once I was able to sit down and reevaluate and say, okay, look at what's causing you these issues. Why do you feel insecure? Why don't you like yourself? It was deeper than just the way I look. So once I was able to dig deeper and look at what was causing these issues or why I didn't like myself, I was able to address them head on. And from that point, the healing process began because it was bigger than and deeper than just what the surface was. My obsession with my looks or my insecurity, it was just like a mask covering over what I really was covering over It was really a mask covering over what I was dealing with on a deeper level. And number five is what did it all. I began to pray to God like I never did before, and I dove into his word. Reality was, when I consulted God and I finally asked him, God, who are you, and can you reveal yourself to me? When he showed me who he was and the love he had for me, that completely changed how I viewed myself. I was paying attention to all the wrong things, whether it was physical or internal, and to see the love of God and how he felt about me, it completely redirected my focus. And so once I was able to see his worth, or see my worth in his eyes, I guess you can say I willingly and I happily embraced the woman that he wanted me to be. So those are the 5 tips, guys. Those are brief and quick, so I hope that you will enjoy them. The reality is, all of these things I didn't start to incorporate till I was nearly 30, and so I don't want that for you guys. I want you to start building the woman that you want to be today. And so real quick, I want you to ask yourself 5 reflective questions, and if you're interested in writing out your answers, I'll make sure to have a worksheet in the description box below. So question number 1 is, what is it about you that makes you different from other people that you can look at and begin to love? So the second question, what imperfections do you have? And despite that, how can you continue to see yourself as beautiful? So the third question I want you to ask yourself, are there things that you love about yourself that can supersede your imperfections? So the fourth question is, are you willing to step up and address your pain like the courageous woman I know you are? And number 5 is, can I continue to draw close to God? Can I ask him that one question that matters? God, who are you, and can you reveal yourself to me? Listen, I know some of you may not believe in God. Some of you don't want anything to do with religion, but it honestly is not about religion. It's about relationship. And so if you can get to know God for who he truly is and ask him to show his love to you, then that can completely change how you view yourself. So those are just some quick questions, guys, that I think are reflective and are important to think about, so that you can be able to prosper and grow and progress in life. And so I want you guys to remember that my motto is, it's all about balance and progression, not perfection. And so until then, guys, be good, be well, be you, and so much love from me to you.